I don't want to get COVID from Jay Ward. I'm gonna have my face covered tonight. No, he be spewing that BS.
Ooh.
I'm done. I'm done, LB. I promise. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is I, Dr. Swift, Doctor, whatever you want to call me. Just call me Swift. Just call me B. But I'm coming to you from Houston, Texas. Glad to be back. T, you muted.
Now they told you don't be addressing yourself as Dr. Ward, bro.
We not even gonna go there tonight. We ain't gonna start. You trying to give me amped up? We ain't gonna start. But I'm coming to you from Houston, Texas, by way of Lake Village, Arkansas. Let's get it.
Yeah, this your boy T, man. I'm gonna try to finish up the Remy tonight. By way of live in Atlanta on the east side, you know what I'm talking about. But today I'm third Ave T for the hood. You feel me?
What's up, y'all? It's Jay Ward coming to you from Shreveport, drinking whiskey. Now, I'm here to give you my prove me wrong. And I'm giving you guys the top 5 women heartbreakers. You want to stay away from these because these women might break your heart. Number 1, beauticians. Number 2, makeup artists. Number 3, anybody in the medical field. Number 4, mental health workers. Number 5, entrepreneurs. Anybody that sells anything. Honorable mention, educators and choir directors and other church personnel. You don't have to agree that I'm right. Just prove me wrong in the comments.
I don't see with medical professionals. There's a difference between the women that help out nurses and the nurses in the medical profession. You know what? I'm not gonna get into it. Go ahead, Carl.
Hey, them
All of
nurses.
them.
Hey, you know them already. Hey, never mind.
Yep.
What
Shout
up?
out to
This your boy.
UMC, man. Shout out to UMC. That's all I'm gonna say.
What up? This your boy Crowley coming from the Jack Up. Y'all missed me last week. We were celebrating my son's doctoral graduation, ceremony. Hey, I can't finish. I can't finish.
Carl gonna get perfect off the show.
Y'all already with the shit already.
But
Go
I'm
ahead,
on
bro.
my grind as usual, my people.
All right, so we're gonna start it off because they I see they're gonna get purged and muted all night, but it's cool. Got me messed up. But anyway, this is Black History Month, right? This
It
is Black
is.
History Month. I want to say Happy Black History Month to all my black people out there in the world. But we're gonna start this first topic off with should black people have segregated into desegregated? So I read a book called First Class talking about the legacy of Dunbar High School and how there were graduates like PhDs, those that was very advanced in their field who couldn't find a job, so they all went to Dunbar High School and they taught these kids and they were educating these kids at a very high level, right?
Mm-hmm.
And these kids came out and did some fabulous thing. I got to go back and look at all the kids that graduated from Dunbar High School, but they was on it. And then you got Black Wall Street, right? How black people were just putting each other on, doing what they had to do. But then we kind of segregated into society. We tore down those walls. We pushed for desegregation and allowed. How can I say this politically correct? I don't know how to say this. So I'm not gonna say it. But the gist is, was desegregation a bad thing? Because if you look at the book, they started allowing other individuals into the school, and eventually it started falling apart. But I want to ask you guys: should we have to stage ourselves as a people, black people, and not desegregated back to society, or was segregation good? What do you think? Was it good or bad? And Crowley, you bring my mom up again. You're not come back on the show.
I didn't bring your mom up. I said we was here. I left to go celebrate my son's doctoral. Now you insinuated, yeah. So
Okay.
you telling off on me and your
Right.
mom. We keeping our secret, but you're sitting there dry snitching on us, man. Come on now.
Muted. Okay, so what do y'all think? Was desegregation good or bad?
Man, this is a touchy topic for me, I will say, because I'm kind of on the fence about it. Okay, so a little backstory. my mom and my daddy class was the first class to actually go to the white high school in law. You know what I'm saying? So, and my mom and my dad, they hated that because they wanted to graduate at Oak Park. That's the name of the school, the black high school. They wanted to graduate from Oak Park, but they sent them to Watkins, you know what I'm saying, Law High School or whatever. And so they would always tell me, like, man, I really wanted to graduate with my class. We had everything. Like, it was one of the best schools in the nation. Told educators and doctors and all this stuff come from this high school. So I see now it's like, okay, cool. I see the plus of it, but I also think that desegregation kind of hindered the black race, you know what I'm saying, all around the world, because somehow we started thinking that white ice was colder than black people ice, you know what I'm saying? And we started shopping and going out instead of spending the money within our community, you know what I'm saying? And with that, a lot of our professions started to dwindle because we stopped supporting our own people. You know what I'm saying? Even with HBCUs, Jackson State was the #1 school to send black athletes to the NFL. But then we started going to Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Alabama, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So on one hand, I'm not, racist or against, integrating with the rest of society and experiencing other cultures and all that. But I think where we messed up, we just did not put the pride in ourself, you know what I'm saying? And that's where we slipped. So,
and you make a good point, because if we wouldn't have pushed for desegregation, we would have still been going to our own schools. We would have still been working in our own schools. Jackson State would have still been pushing and promoting and getting those individuals into the NFL or NBA or professional areas. Same thing with, and I ain't gonna say Alcorn because hell no. Southern or a
no, definitely
North
not
Carolina Central or Howard.
Grambling.
Grant. I don't know about Grambling, but yeah, I see your point. In terms of business, desegregation hinders. I can kind of agree with that. What you think, Crow?
When it comes to desegregation and how we integrated with others, like T said, it had its pros and cons. On one hand, we were building wealth, we were building strength amongst each other, we were defining our culture within America versus America defining the culture for us. We kind of lost a sense of pride during, like you said, during that moment. Also, you got to look at too, we were seeking funding and validation from the government and from our counterparts. And I'm not going to say everybody was, but it was a push, as you can see, for us to, like I said, integrate amongst everybody. And there's nothing wrong with integrating. And if you even still think about it now, we are further desegregating ourselves against each other. It's just a new wave. So I think we need to kind of move forward in what's going on in the culture now. You got men versus black women. You know what I'm saying? Going against each other right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even, we need to get on a micro level within our culture versus the macro right now, fix ourselves within, and then start talking about the bigger picture, because, and that's, I'll go down a whole nother pipe on that, but yeah, it had its pros and cons.
I think we can all agree it had its pros and cons. What do you think, Jay Ward, top male educator on the panel?
So like I agree with everybody that it had its pros, it had its cons. The biggest thing that you have to realize is that if we were separate and equal, we would be thriving right now. If it was separate and equal, like we would, I'm not going to say be ahead, but I think we would be ahead. I mean, honestly, but it wasn't equal. And if no one ever educates you, then you had to go get it from them from somewhere. You had to learn from them somehow. Because if you never did, then you don't have any knowledge to take back other than what you've learned like through experience. You don't have anything to take back. But the problem was, once you gain the knowledge, you have to bring it back and distribute it. You can't just gain the knowledge and say, "Oh, I'm good, so I'm gonna go live amongst them," and not come back and pick up everybody else. And I hear what you guys are saying about Jackson State and all the other HBCUs keeping the talent. But if we would have just kept that talent, eventually they would have just froze us out. It's just like with the Negro Baseball League. It was a great thing, but they couldn't sustain because they didn't have the finances and the overhead and all that to sustain. And the people in power, hit them with permits and all these other rules and regulations that were stopping them from operating. So you have to get through the door in order to open the door. You have to be able to go through that door. Like someone has to open that door up. And like T said, just because we desegregated, that shouldn't have meant stop supporting your own. We should have kept supporting our own and getting from them like other races do. And like I can give you an example, like Asian people drive Hondas because they make Hondas. So it's like we're going to support. I remember seeing that as a kid growing up. Like you never saw an Asian person driving like a Ford or a Chevy because like we're going to support our own. And if you think about it, a lot of people are segregated. If you go to Texas or a larger city, you have like a Korean area, you have a Hispanic area, you have more of a, like a Latina area, like all these different areas, except Black people, we like just randomly scatter wherever we can get. And so we have to, segregation still exists. That's the same, like they call it rezoning now. So that's how a teacher fresh out of college can end up at a predominantly white school or a school where the demographics of the parents are both college educated. So you're not really a good teacher. You just landed at a school where the parents can help teach the kids. So if you're such a great teacher, then you need to be at the school where they don't have as many resources. Lastly, and I can talk about this all day. I used to be a social studies teacher, so this is my thing. Southern segregation and Northern segregation were two different things. In the South, we had an opportunity to own land, and if you owned land back then, you could definitely work. You could not saying we owned a lot of land, but because of how sharecropping went and how, if you worked a piece of land for so long or whatever, and you upkept it and things like that, you had an opportunity to own it. And we were more spaced out because we were less populated in the South. But in the North, they were like stacked on top of each other, stack, 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 stack. And once you continue to stack people on top of each other, eventually they're going to push somebody off and it turns into violence. And plus they started pumping drugs into those cities and pumping drugs into those towns, which is something that, Malcolm X was talking about. It's just like, it's easy to say, we can be nonviolent and blah, blah, blah. But up here, it's a different type of discrimination. Like we cannot literally find jobs. In the South, you can farm, you can grow stuff and things like that. But in your metropolitan areas, your urban areas, it's like if you don't get a job in a factory, if they don't want to hire you in a factory, there's almost no jobs at all. So it kind of just really, really kept us in a state of poverty. So, and we still kind of are suffering from the residuals of that today. So it's definitely one of those things that's a good and bad thing. Go ahead, Swift.
But so let me touch on the point real quick before I forget it, because you said something that's real interesting, how other ethnicities support their own. And we see a microcosm of what happens when we support our own. When Deion Sanders came back and started coaching at Jack State, how many recruits started coming to the school, how much publicity we started getting. ESPN and all these other different entertainment companies started paying attention to us. So you see what happens when we start putting into our own. The question becomes, how can we start doing it on a small scale and on a large scale? And do we sometimes hold our own selves back? Like entrepreneurship and owning certain things, do we make it harder on ourselves? When we
I don't think we make it harder on ourselves. I think that we are harder on ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like you can go to any store and have bad service, and you keep going to that store. You won't write a review on Google or Yelp or something like that. But the first time something happened, when you get a shirt from T and something ain't right with the shirt, you want to blast all on the internet and all on the reviews. Fuck T, don't shop with the campaign. You know what I'm saying? Or you know, your food come out kind of funny one time. You go to the restaurant. Now, don't go to that restaurant up there, y'all, whatever. I mean, dang, we got growing pains. You just never know, man. You know, I try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I support Black. I shop Black, like Black on everything. You know what I'm saying? Because I know the importance of a share or a review, or you know what I'm saying, texting my partner, telling them to check out a spot. You know what I'm saying? Like word of mouth goes far. Every little bit helps a Black owned business. And I'm not saying we should just buy it because it's Black, you know what I'm saying? I'm definitely not saying that, because you definitely got to be up to par. You definitely got to have a standard. But I think that we could learn a lot from other races. You know what I'm saying? Just like you said about you'll never see a Chinese or a Japanese in a Chevy or something like that. And I didn't even think about it, but the roofer guy was like a Chinese dude. He came by my house and he was riding in a Honda truck. I'm like, bro, what are you doing in this little ass truck with this ladder? You know what I'm saying? But now that you said that, it makes total sense to me, dog. And if you in Atlanta, you already know they have their own section. And it's funny, like the Chinese area don't even have English signage.
Same thing here in Houston. They have their own signs.
They have their own signs every day, let you know, like, hey, this is us. This what we at. You know what I'm saying?
What y'all expensive? So what type of signage will we have? You know, what's gonna set us apart? You get what I'm saying?
I mean, the signage, I mean, we can have our own signage in English, but I'm just saying we need to build up a foundation for ourselves, for our people. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody can have their own thing. Everybody don't have to try to sell hair or something like that. We can all just do our thing in the
area. Don't go down that road. But yeah, I agree, because here in Houston, when you go to the east side, I don't know if it's Chinese or Japanese. I don't want to, insult anyone, but all the signs are in their language, like the street signs, the street lights, street names, the shopping centers. Everything is in their language. They own all of it. I remember having a conversation with someone I work with, and they were saying everything in the house is from their ethnicity. There's nothing in the house that is made from outside. Everything in the house is made from where they are originally from. If they buy something that's not from where they from, they get put out the house. Like they are very strict on it. How do we get there, right? How do we start supporting ourselves and getting to where we were back in the 30s, 40s, and 50s before desegregation, I should say?
I think. Go ahead, Crow.
First off, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, it's a lot of fake love. Just start having truthful conversations with each other. Like T said, you ain't got to get on social media and blast. Speak to the managers. Speak to that person directly. That's how we start from there, communication. Instead of running behind somebody back, or with the fake smiles and the fake, how you doing, what up, G, and all that. You know what I'm saying? Say what you got to say, be able to talk about it, build up on it, and let's grow and move forward. That's as simple as that. If you don't start right there with the communication, it's gonna fall apart. You gotta when it comes to leaders and everything, you gotta have people who are gonna be able to listen and be able to fall back, know when to step up, when to step back. So that's gonna be the defining moment for us as a culture, being able to communicate and listen and build from that.
Did Crow freeze?
Nah, I'm done.
I think
Let me go to the comments real quick before you go, Jay Ward.
Yeah.
Jay said, we hold ourselves back looking for discounts all the time. Black folk expect you to offer them a hookup once you own something, but we'll go to these Caucasoid places and Iranian places and pay full price. Why can't you pay me full price? Rob, he out there studying, but he on the BBT. We harder on ourselves about everything: retail, relationships, parenting, everything. Nikki, but other colors do that as well. They hold each other accountable. They do. Kendria Gray, small scale, hire a black lawyer, use a black mechanist, support your friend's business. And we got to make sure that our friends have authentic businesses too, right? Because some people are just looking for that quick come up, and Atlanta, the scam capital of the world, so it's kind of hard to support some of these.
Hey, bro, what you trying to say, bro?
I said it. Shamari, give Bob the same chance as you gave Walmart.
Black-owned businesses,
Black-owned business, boy. That boy said
Bob, you a doctor now. You a
Get in the
doctor now,
cut.
bro.
Shut
You a
up.
boy
doctor
said
Give
Bob.
black-owned businesses the same chances you've given Walmart and McDonald's. All right, go ahead, Jay Ward.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of those comments. And if and I have a lot of friends from the Middle East over here. I hoop with them. They're really nice people. But if we could own like they own, I mean, in our own neighborhoods, that would be a game changing thing because they peddle everything in our neighborhoods, from hair to clothes to cell phones, electronics,
Everything.
all of that. They peddle all of that stuff to us. And it's just like, but the unfair thing is that the government helps them get established over here. And if
Right.
we could get that leg up, or that hand up, we could do the same thing. Like Crow said, be real with your friends. Before I put this product out, let me know that it was flawed or it needed work. Don't say, oh yeah, them wings slapping and they just average. Let me know what I can do better. And we are quick to nitpick everything that one of us does before supporting it. Like, support it. And if it's not your thing, then just don't consume it. But you don't have to talk down about it. It's just like if a certain artist drops something and I don't really care for it, I'm not going to talk down about them. I just won't support it. Simple
Like
as that. That's just whoa. Don't do the goat like that.
Who you say?
So
T?
he said J. Cole.
I had to get under his skin, man.
Yeah, you know what? We're not gonna do that. But it's crazy that a black person would charge you $8.75 for the same thing another company would charge you $7.75 for, and you like, oh, I ain't paying all that. It's $1 more, not realizing that this is a small business and the price that they have to make it is more than what a company is paying. So we have to really be able to get past that, I think, and stop just assuming. And this is what I think the police do when a Caucasian person is doing something. They're automatically given the benefit of the doubt. But we could not be doing something and just assume that we are wrong. And it's like, I mean, just like even at the Capitol, like people were just running like, well, there's no way they're going to do something wrong. But if it was a bunch of us that came, they was like, oh, they're automatically here to do something wrong. So it's the same thing with a black-owned business. It's like, yeah, but he might be scamming, or he might be blah, blah, blah. He might be blah, blah, blah. But if you think about it, especially those of us who are, we're doing pretty good in life, where we moved along in life, $60 ain't gonna really hurt us or set us back. Buying that $25 shirt, even if it don't fit you right, that ain't gonna really set you back. So I meant, we have to be able to do that. I'm just bad. I mean, I support people, like T said, a share goes a long way. I'm just bad with modern stuff like Cash App and PayPal and Vimeo or whatever that stuff. I just don't really mess with it. So I do it if I can just send you money or something like that. But I'm just old school when it comes to that. But I got to do better by my support. And we already know that J. Cole is a better rapper than Jay-Z. Go ahead,
Whoa. Whoa.
I'll take it off the screen, T. But let me go to
mute Jay.
No. Jay Kelly, we build shit up and fuck it up. I hope my grandma and mom not watching. At the same time, we never point out the fact that our culture don't value our own stuff. MLK Street, for example, bro, in every city, the street is in the black communities and that area be messed up. And that's so true. That's so true. MLK Street usually in every city is a street you do not go down at nighttime or daytime for that matter. Right. But how do we get there though? Like, that's kind of tough. I guess we gotta get into politics and start helping each other out.
I agree.
A lot of it's systematic, you know what I'm saying? But yes. I'm not finna give people any cakes tonight like Jay Ward, you know what I'm saying? We need to hold everybody accountable for especially how we treat our own community, especially like littering and just little shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, it don't make any sense to me, man.
That start at home, though. Valuing. But look, let me tell you this real quick, Swoop. And I had to tell this to a friend of mine. Imagine leaving out your apartment, and every road you ride on is ragged, and you have to ride a bus anyway to get where you're going because y'all don't have a vehicle.
That's in Jackson, right?
This is most cities. It's like that in Shreveport. And I was just telling my friend this. I was like, name a good paying job within 10 miles of where you live at, and he couldn't do it. So it's like, if I live right here, I'm already not valuing myself because of my surroundings. So I don't care about throwing the cup on the ground, because if I ride, I'm gonna tear my bike up riding down the street anyway because the road torn up. So it's like you start like not valuing yourself, which leads to not valuing life, which is why you would be willing to take one. That starts from when you a little bitty kid. If you grew up in a situation where it's just trash all around you, the garbage people don't come pick up, around. Like my dad stay on people in Alexandria about my grandmother's neighborhood, because if you throw limbs, they supposed to come pick them up within 2 days. But in other neighborhoods, wealthier neighborhoods, they come pick up limbs the next day. So if you constantly see that around you, you don't value things. So you don't mind throwing a cigarette butt on the street because they everywhere anyway.
Let me hit you with this. So let me ask you this. I'm in the Jack. So they paving the roads here in the Jack. Let me tell you about my fellow citizens, younger generation more so than anything. So they pay the roads. Now these jokers drag race on them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So you you invest in the neighborhood, and now they're tearing up this multi-million-dollar project by drag racing on it. So when you finally do get the money, the funds to invest within, to start, the beautification of the neighborhood, the minimum, they don't even care about the minimum thing. So you gotta, like I said, you gotta start kind of from within, because if I come plant flowers in your yard, what's the point of me planting them and you're gonna step all on them?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's a mentality, because it's some things you do in Jackson. Just for example, we all went to Jackson State. Some things we know we can do in Jackson that we can't get away with in a Ridgewood or Ridgeland or Clinton or so on and so forth. So it's a mentality too. We got to start treating our stuff better, basically. Stop drag race. I saw a report tonight that was drag racing on one of the roads, holding up traffic in Jackson. We just got to. It starts in the home.
It starts. For one, everybody want to be seen. Everybody want to post. Everybody want to brag that I'm doing this. Mm-hmm. And half the time, what they drag racing in I'm not one to, hey, your financial means, but that's not even a proper car to be drag racing in. I'm gonna just leave it at that. That's your A and B car to get you to point A to point B. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You tear that up, that's over. So for one, you got to teach them to value what they have already before they can even value something that you put out there for them.
True. And before we get to the final comments,
when I went to brother Kevin Lawrence's homegoing celebration, I went back through Jackson, and if you approach the campus from University or from downtown, it's so beautiful. But then if you go down Lynch, it's just like, man, so we have to do something about that. And it's just like, I know that's not the university's responsibility, but if I'm being recruited and I'm coming to Jackson State from Lynch Street, which is the way I used to come from Vicksburg, it's like, man, you got to have, like Rob saying, you got to have pride, but these young kids don't even know how to have pride yet. We got to just, I know it's frustrating, but we have to teach them, man. We got to teach them
for themselves, Jay Ward. That's the thing about it. When you don't value yourself or value just waking up on a daily or just the simple little things to value, they don't value that, G. Like serious,
This might need to be a separate topic. Miss Mitchell said that's the key word: teach. Most of these kids are raised they raised by NBA young boy, little baby. They friends.
They are raised by themselves, to be honest, because they listen to the music and they kind of, you know what I'm saying? They kind of pick and choose and say, okay, this is what I'm going to take from it and become me. Mm-hmm. Because there's no guidance, within the home from if they're not surrounded by, you know, gentlemen, women, whoever it may be, that's who they're making themselves to become because they don't really know themselves yet.
So real quick, my grandma just commented. Her
So
birthday
did.
was yesterday. Let me see how old is she? 50, 50,
Grandma birthday.
60, 71. Just turned 71.
Okay.
Wow, that's a blessing, man.
You have to
Belated
send
birthday to my
something.
grandma.
Have to
Yeah.
send something that way,
Happy
man.
belated birthday, mother-in-law. Send me the.
Hey,
Let's do.
Swift,
Huh?
you know it's weird, man. I was thinking about it the other day since my grandmother passed. The oldest person I know is I think 73. And that's, you know, it's just like it's just crazy to think about that. Like I don't know anybody that's older than I think like 73 years old. Like personally, no. You know, so it's just, you know, we have to get that knowledge from them before they pass on because they have so much knowledge and they live such a different life than us.
And speaking of living a different life, my grandma lived in the church and she brought me in the church too, but we're going to get into that in a second. Any final comments on Jay Ward, make that face. Any final comments on this topic? Grandma got to bring you on. They said they need to know your secrets. You look good. She's 70.
Hey.
Hey, so that means it
Swift,
runs in the family.
I was just about to say, you know, that means that, you know, you can look at the mother and see what the
I know.
daughter's going to look like when she get older, which
So
means you can
I'm
look at
winning.
you and think
I'm
about what
winning.
you're going to look like when you get older. That's where I was going with that.
I like my
Because
daddy, though. I look just like my daddy.
Don't
you
talk
look good,
about
brother.
your,
You look good,
don't talk
LB.
about
You
your
still
daddy,
look, you
man.
still
You
look
know,
25, man. You still
you know
look
the
25.
women in the comments be trying to get at your daddy, man.
Yeah,
You
you got
trying to get at your
to.
daddy
We all
on
But
the
look
you,
list.
young, though.
Swift,
We all doing
Swift,
pretty good.
I do think that, you know, you lost some of your power when you cut the dreads. That might be
We are going to get into this next topic.
Will got his hand on that button so fast,
Hey,
man.
so
He's
fast.
ready.
Hey, Swift is swift with it.
But now we're going to get into this next. Hold on. Do anybody got any final comments on this topic?
Yeah, man, we just got to do better as a whole, man. And I
Man.
think we just we're preaching to the choir, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because all of us try to do the right thing, and everybody in our comments, they do the right thing. So we just got to get out and get to the right people, man.
I'd honestly say you got to kind of force feed our people. Honestly, you gotta correct. You got to be able to correct those that you really call your people around you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are afraid to correct people. You know what I'm saying? If you really fuck with them, you really love them and all that shit, correct them. You know what I'm saying?
And we
And
might need to have a clubhouse room on something around this topic. I do think we should do one next week, a clubhouse room, and just talk about these things with the people in the chat and try to expand it to others because this conversation does need to take place. But like I said, we preach to the choir. I pretty much know almost everybody in the comments, and they doing their thing too. So we need to reach some other people. But any final comments before we go to the next topic? Any other final comments? Nope. Okay.
That's it.
So this post came through my phone. I'm gonna read it. Many millennials resent church because their parents were good at church but not good at life. They struggle attending a place that consumed their parents' time but never transformed their private life. Like I said, my grandmama raised me, and mama raised me in the church. I went to church every Sunday from 7 o'clock in the morning until we got out. Y'all know how those Baptist churches are. Like you in church pretty much all day Sunday. But are we seeing young millennials in being raised in the church or in the church now like their parents or their grandparents were? And if not, then why not? And is it really affecting this younger generation like in a negative way? Because I'm pretty sure we was all raised in the church. We was in the church from sun up, sundown, Sunday, Wednesdays, Fridays, building funds. We was in the church. But what do y'all think is going on now? Are millennials in the church now? If not, why not? And does it have a negative effect on them? Jay Ward, are you still taking notes, or can we start with you?
I'm good. Okay. I hope Corey
in addiction over there. Let's go ahead.
I hope Corey
we need
gets
Rob
here
for this, man.
Right. I hope Corey gets here for this too because I know this is his thing. I think the biggest gripe with this, and I do agree that less, people. I don't know if they're millennials or not, but I guess that less educated people go to church less because it's just like you start to see through the bull, and it's it's a lot of big churches and neighborhoods is usually the most important thing in a neighborhood, in a black neighborhood, but a lot of them don't do anything for the neighborhood. And it's just like, a half of that money that we're putting in church, if we just all pooled it together, we can improve our neighborhood and just be good. And it's like, we start looking to the church to do those things and they're not doing them. And it's frustrating. And then I think another thing that affects us is that the Bible was used to oppress slaves. It was. I mean, there's no way around that. And as we get that knowledge that was not taught to us in school or Sunday school, it's like our ancestors didn't come from Africa worshiping Jesus. They didn't. But if you beat a person so much and you cut off enough feet and kill enough people, then I'm gonna say praise the Lord too. So it's like, our ancestors did not.
Let's not take down that lane. Let's not take it down that lane.
I mean, I think that's why, because once we realized that our ancestors did not do this, it's like, this is not who they worshiped. And I went on my own spiritual journey behind this and everything. It's just like, I can't say that a monk, a Buddhist monk who spent his life dedicated to peace and goodwill is going to hell because he doesn't believe in Jesus. But that's what the Bible teaches you. And I was just like, I don't know about that. And then as a person who's read the Bible from front to back, it's like the Bible goes from being in the Middle East to all of a sudden being in Rome. And I'm like, what? This don't even make sense. Like, so at least get the knowledge yourself. And I think that's what's happened. A lot of educated Black people, just like we have academic knowledge and we got that for ourselves. We want to get spiritual knowledge and we want to get it for ourselves. And we don't just take the word of that preacher and we just don't take it. And I think a lot of people have a lot of church hurt that they need to get over. And I think church hurt might be a whole different topic, but a lot of people have that church hurt and they can't get over it. So they just,
what's church hurt? What's church hurt?
When somebody in the church has hurt you from something dumb, like you wore a short skirt one day and they labeled you as something and they said your mama wasn't raising you right because you wore pants to church, or you thought you should have been over a committee or a program and you wasn't, so now you ain't going back to church over that. Like, that's what I think that means by that church hurt. And so a lot of us just like, I don't have to deal with this. I'm a self-made man, or I can go to a different type of church and get the same, spiritual food that I need without having to go to these traditional churches. And I kind of had it both ways. I went to a traditional Baptist church when I was with my dad and a non-denominational church when I was with my mom. So I got a chance to experience both.
But back to the question, why do you think young millennials not going today, other than church hurt and that reason? Because we do have
so much knowledge. There's so much knowledge available, and once you just look at it for yourself, you're like, this don't make sense. This doesn't make sense. So you have to ask yourself, am I a Christian because my mama and grandmother and her mother were Christians, or am I a Christian because this is what I believe in? And I think a lot of people ask themselves that question, and then the answer is just like, no. I mean, I can't rock with this.
I got you. Let me go to the comments real quick. Jay, and I heard Steve Harvey when you said this. I was raised in the church and was like Steve Harvey. I was like, I'd rather go to hell. And I remember saying some things of comedy, and I started laughing. Quinn, no, because millennials aren't sticking around for the mess that goes on in the church. And a prime example that popped up in my head was here in Houston during Hurricane Harvey, when Joel Osteen didn't open his church. People were like, so why do you have a church then? What are you really doing? Are you really doing this for the right reasons?
Right.
They ask a lot of questions. Shamari, the church now isn't the same as church in my granny area. It's way more political than community. That's true. And a lot more scandals too. We saw, like I said, with Joel Osteen. And then what's the other pastor name that always got a scandal about him cheating? The heavyset dude.
Oh, yeah. I know you're talking
Great.
about.
Whatever, great.
Yeah, Pat.
Avengers husband.
Who?
Yeah.
Okay. That's her name, Aventer, or whatever her name is.
Avengers.
Avengers Assemble. I don't know. Gray. John Gray.
John Gray, yeah. I teach my children great moral standards, but I want them to choose their beliefs on their own. As soon as I was out of my mama's house, I immediately looked at other religions. I needed to make sure Christianity was my truth. Okay. Rob, where'd it go? You have to know God for yourself, not through a pastor nor through church. For yourself. Don't follow a pastor, follow your heart and what you believe in. It will make a huge difference. Absolutely. Nikki Zoe, that all of that. We're finding our own identities and using the information provided at our fingertips versus being force-fed religious ideas that never included us with an asterisk in the first place. Kendria, way too much going on in church. That's why people leaving. Oh, Kim, preachers are making sick. Y'all got a lot to say about this topic. Preachers
Church hurt.
Preachers are making
What you say, Jay Wood, church?
I'd rather just attend from my phone. The same way they're preaching in person is the same on social media. Ooh, Creflo Dollar, yeah. Another one. Jamal Bryan and John Gray. Yeah, they exclamation points. What you think, Crow?
A lot of the millennials, honestly, like you all say, have access to a lot of information. So, and even in our generation, we have realized, like you all said, not to follow man. And to be honest, it's like right now, we're not even following religion. We're searching for something that's going to feed our spirit and our souls. That's why Jay Ward say he went on his journey, because I think generations before us got caught up in religion, got caught up in the person behind the pulpit. And when we touched on the desegregation, church was the only thing you can kind of run to during that time. So that's when that power focused at that moment to, the church, Christianity. And so now our generation realizing that, hey, the power doesn't lie within the church. It doesn't lie within the religion. It relies within your connection with the higher power up above, and the things that you do within to set forth, as we would say, good karma to come back around. So for me, I don't get caught up in the religion and all that. I have my one-on-one moments. I do my studying, and go from there. And let it be. But I don't get caught up. For me, I'll just say this. I honestly just don't go to the church building. Now I get the fellowship, that we supposed to do and everything. So I'll go here and there, but I study on my own. And when I do go, I'll hear the message that's given and I'll go study it on my own, but I don't have to be in nobody's church or nothing like that, or call myself joining nobody's church. You know what I'm saying?
So
I connect to the higher power.
Are y'all mad at the religion, or are y'all mad at men for being, less than?
No. For me, I don't care about the man behind the pulpit, because I visit every church, especially before COVID hit. I was visiting every church. You know what I'm saying? I just randomly choose a church to go to on a Sunday. It was two main churches, that I fall back and forth to, but like I say, I don't care about the man. I just need to hear what Bible verse you coming out of. Listen to whatever your interpretation is. And when I go back, I'm going to study and meditate on that whole Bible verse on my own. You know what I'm saying? I have definitely no church hurt. Nobody ain't did nothing to me in the church,
Yeah, I don't either, but I had that coming up because I think we need to expand on that one. Probably have a clubhouse room on this one. Where it go? Melissa Williams, the church is against women. Main reason I ain't going. So I think the premise is the church has protocols and teaches things that may go against the freedom that Black women are now finding in this new generation, right? That may be something we can expound on at a later time. If you're interested in having a clubhouse room on that, I do think that'll be something that we could talk about and go deeper on. Something else I saw too, I think it was Jay Ward comment. Bible and Constitution were both set up to benefit white men, not blacks, not women, just white men. Let me make a small correction on that. Not just white men, but white men that were well off, they had money, that could benefit from the Constitution, because there were some white men who were not well off, who could not benefit, but because they were white, they still received certain privileges. But the Bible and Constitution, I can kind of see where you're going with that one. A man created the religion, so you really can't separate them. Man,
And then let me say this too, Jay Ward. Yeah, you know, that was doing what was that Christine time, all that, you know, that's when that was brought about. But let me say this too. We realized that 10%, we don't have to give it to the church. We can directly use that 10% that we get out of our check and make change within the community ourselves. What would you and you know, Jesus was out there, you know, making change himself. You don't have to give it to the church. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's another thing we realize, because the building fund is always happening. You know,
For nothing to get
it's
built.
always a new at it. You know, it's always given to some missionary in another country versus helping those that's 2 blocks over from the church. You know, so when you wise up to things like that, like you said, when you take the 4 of us and you like, hey, we put our 10% together, and hey, let's go feed everybody for 2 weeks. That's a more powerful statement than you doing a missionary, sending our money out to a missionary somewhere. But, and not to say you shouldn't bless others, but they got to start at home.
But
hey, Crow, I had a pastor to say, you know, and he was honest. He was just like, you know, money's great, but you know, if you can't give me money, give me 10% of your time, give me 10% of something, you know. And it was just like, you know, I'm giving you. And I think a lot of pastors miss out on that because they don't want you to stop giving money, which, you know, the church does need money to survive. I get it. But, you know, I can't stand a twist in my arm to give type. But go ahead, T, my bad.
Well, I'm gonna say,
you good.
T, why you think young millennials not going to the church?
I mean, y'all pretty much hit on it. It's a lot to do with the information that's out there. In the past, people didn't have it at their fingertips like that. And, you know, people were shamed into believing or, you know, being in church. Like, if you said something that went against the norm, you were shamed, you were shunned, you know, by your family, by your, like, my grandma was the church. You know what I'm saying? Like, when she passed, they put her chair to the side with flowers on it. That's how ingrained in the church my grandma was. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I'm so conflicted with it because I grew up in the church. You know what I'm saying? Like you were saying, Swift, vacation Bible school, you know, like everything. And I didn't grow up in a Baptist church, like small church, you know what I'm saying? Like, and shout out to the Church of Christ on the South Side. You did, for sure. But it's just so funny now that I'm older and I was able to research for myself and I went down the rabbit hole. You know what I'm saying? I studied Muslims, I studied Buddhists, I studied the 10%ers, I studied, you know, the Anunnaki. Like, I just started reading and going down the rabbit hole. So I got a total, like, just worldly view of God and religion and myself. You know what I'm saying? And that, I think that's what people are scared of. They don't want you to be empowered. They don't want you to be empowered in yourself, you know what I'm saying, and believing the God within. You see what I'm saying? So after I started doing all that and going down the rabbit hole, that's why I think that millennials are not really just with this church stuff, because they see the flex. They see the front, they see the flex. But I will say this. My old lady took me to church out here. We picked a church to go to out here on the east side in the A. And I was totally blown away, man. Like one of them fucking mega churches, bro. Like it felt like I was on one of them like Jerry Springer show. They got the big crane camera, you know what I'm saying? Like big, just a fucking mega church, man. And the preacher got up there and he was like, yeah, thank you for the tithes last week of 250,000. I was sitting there like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, 250 on a Sunday, one Sunday, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's
no, Crow. I'm not going that route. Listen, but I will say this: that is the best church I ever went to. Well, not the best church beside my church. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm totally a fucking conspiracy theorist.
We know.
You know what I'm saying? We know. But for me to actually say that this church, the preacher, he's the truth. They do stuff in the community. Like, I was blown away, bro. And I support this church. I'm not a church dude. Like I have to really just sit there and block out all the stuff I be thinking about when they be saying Jesus did this and da da da. I just have to block it out and just enjoy it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I'm done, man. I can go on and on about this.
You brought up another point though. Those mega churches, they have the big screens. They have like 4 or 5 services on one Sunday.
Bro, I never seen no shit like that.
It was one service all day, but I feel that community feel too. Like you didn't really mind going to church because there's people in the community that you know that you're seeing throughout the week. Whereas we're looking at these mega churches, do you have that community feel when you go to a mega church, or you just going for that one service and then you leaving?
Right. But like I said, these folk, bro, they bailing out people. You know what I'm saying? They giving food away. They paying bills for people. Like they really doing what they say.
$250K every Sunday. You better, right? Hey, and I'm gonna be honest. Like when even this just like I say, I live by the Bible. You got a lot of false prophets out there. So with that being said, you see a lot of false prophets get caught up after playing church for so long. You know, so if they not doing right by that 250K every Sunday, sooner or later, somebody gonna get caught up. You play with it for so long, you're gonna get caught up. That's just the end of message to it. You know, so do right by it. If you out there call yourself being a head leader.
Let me go to the last few comments. Rob, I've gone to a church that's done Meals on Wheels, turkey giveaways, giveaway clothes, etc. So I can't say all churches are crooked. I've seen pastors preach that men and women should hold themselves until marriage.
Yeah.
Okay. I disagree.
You agree?
I disagree.
You disagree? Not just women, but you don't have to rock with everything the pastor or preacher says. Miss Nicole, millennials watch their mom and grandma struggle while the pastor riding a Tesla with granny last $100. If that ain't the truth,
no, it was an old school lack or something like that back in the day. You know, they had them Buicks when they first came out. Every pastor had a Buick.
Either that or a Cadillac. Chris Mo, I think we overlooked that the Bible is a book of faith. That doesn't mean it's fact. It's up to us to believe and practice it how we believe. People use it to govern rather than the practices, which is off-putting. My belief is to get to know him for yourself. Subscribe to Christianity, not the church. I know the church is within me. Okay. Let me go up. When I lived in Georgia, I went to World Changers. What a mistake it was. Moved home and joined Praise Temple again. Second mistake, my membership. Okay. They are a mega church. They should be doing stuff in the community. And I agree. If you're a mega church, you bring in $250,000 a month, a week. You need to be out here in these streets, like helping people out. Like that's
right.
Hey, could leave it after he get the preacher, bro. He jump on the helicopter and go to his other church,
right
on the south side. I'm telling you, dog.
So you paying for helicopter fuel in that 250 in a week.
They doing it, bro.
But you know, a lot of these churches get what's that? It's something through the federal government.
No tax.
So you know, a lot of that too is tax write-offs and all that.
Yeah. Eric asked, "What church was it, T?"
It's Berean on Panola, man. Good church, bro. And that, like I said, that's a compliment coming from me because I am a conspiracy theorist. You know what I'm saying? I'm not with the church stuff like that, bro. But that's a good church, man.
Miss Smith said, I watched someone sin all weekend and on Sunday got so-called touched with holy oil and acted a damn fool. Left out curse from the time we left until we got But y'all know we always out in these streets all night Saturday night. Y'all see there.
We all still sinners. Nobody is perfect after they done got touched by the holy water now.
Right. You know y'all was out all night at the hookah lounges or at the strip club all Saturday night. Sometimes y'all went to church on Sunday and took no shower. Y'all got the same. Come on now.
No, still got that wristband on and trying to hide it.
Right.
Nah, hey, I'm gonna tell you what my
stamp on your hand and you trying to.
One pastor here said, like, you don't question where the club spends your money, so why you questioning where the church spends it? And I was like, that's a valid point. Now you don't care what the bouncer at the club, you know, what he got going on, so why you worry about what the usher got going on? I thought that was a valid point.
But now I don't know if I can rock with that because you go to the club expecting a certain experience, right? You know what you get when you go to the club. You think you know what you get when you go to the church, but sometimes that may not be it. I think that's two totally different spheres.
But that's the same thing. You go to the club, like you say, you expecting to get an experience. Sometimes the club is a straight dud.
Yeah. And you get mad that you spent your money there and then get what you spent your money for. Same thing with the church. You ask for 10%. What you doing in our community? How you helping our people? Is the message really aligning with what I believe in and what you believe in? And if you're preaching this message, how you preaching it, but you're not living the message that you're preaching. You out here with 5, 6 baby mamas and a wife. Like,
so it all goes back to what I said, what you're seeking for your soul and your spirit over the religion. So it's what everybody is seeking at that moment in time to feed their soul and keep them going.
Say that's when you really needed that holy oil extracting all them demons from the night before.
Hey, look, let me go on for that first to get that communion. You know what I'm saying? To wash it with.
Right. I will say this though, and please don't let I'm gonna say it anyway. Y'all know
get put out.
I am, bro.
I hope you get your stuff first. I hope you pack your bag.
I know.
Let me get my stuff.
Don't say it, T. Don't even say it.
No, I have to, bro, because these women in the comments, they know. And y'all know that y'all be going to this church dressing like y'all been at the club the night before while I'm sitting up in there with my old lady trying to focus. You see what I'm saying? And focus on the word. And y'all want to act like y'all at freelance somewhere. So please come to church appropriate. My grandma would be upset that y'all don't have no stockings on or something like that.
Come on.
That's it. That's it. I'm done.
Oh, that's a good transition to our next topic, though. But any final comments?
I get them in the end.
It was Constantine who adopted Christianity in 272 through 337. Yeah. So there we go.
Shout out to the research department.
They had a whole conference or panel trying to decide what was going to be in the Bible, what wouldn't. But I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes going to that church. What church was that on Ridgewood in Jackson, in North Jackson?
I already know what you're talking about, but I'm a hush.
And there was some women coming in.
I'm a hush. I already know what you're talking about because they had 2 churches. Well, they still got 2 churches.
Yep.
So it's, I'll put it this way: going as a young man and a young lady, it is dangerous if your mind is not focused when you're going to church. I'm gonna leave it at that. We all know. Hey, and I'm gonna correct you real fast. They are allowed to come in how they choose to. Your focus, you have to be focused, sir. You know what you're in there for. So you have to be focused.
I'm focused, bro.
Just because they put on that dress, they hit them just a little bit where the thigh and a little bit above the knee. Yeah, you got to be focused, son.
My old lady ain't playing, bro. She'll go inside my head, bro.
So these
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie, bro. She'll go inside my head, bro.
I know these women not coming to church with no drawers on.
Go ahead to the next topic.
Hey, go ahead. I was just about to say, keep it moving.
Moving on.
Church with the Fashion Nova fit. Come on, y'all.
Keep moving.
Come on, y'all.
Hey, they are allowed to walk in. You gotta stay focused.
They posing for Instagram in front of the church.
Yeah, you gotta be driving to your parking space. Focus. You gotta have your gospel music up. Saying, God, you gotta be in the midst of prayer while driving. Y'all think I'm playing? I was driving through a church parking lot. I leave it nameless because it is some attractive ladies that attend this church. You got to start praying as soon as you whip on the lot. Like, God, keep me focused. I got to stay on your word the whole time. Like, it's dangerous if your mind is not on where it should be. I promise you it is.
Listen to my grandma. Grandma said, Mr. T, don't look, listen at the word.
At the word.
Oh, and then don't let you be by somebody fine and the pastor say, look to your neighbor and say, neighbor.
Hey, no. Hey, no, when everybody got to get up and walk down for communion or something, hey, that's like the most dangerous thing. Hey, that's dangerous, kid. That's dangerous.
Oh, okay.
Hey, that happened to me at a church, and it was just like this one chick who, how she dressed or whatever. It's like she would always find me and on the hug, go give a hug session. And I was like, lady.
Oh, I hate
relax.
that. Oh,
Chill.
Look, I'm shaking all the men. Yeah, yes. How you doing, sir?
How you doing, brother? How you doing, brother? Good to see you, brother.
Oh, Lord.
Hey, look, get behind me. Temptation is real.
Look to your neighbor and say, neighbor.
As soon as we turn out the parking lot and I see you at the red light, then I'm gonna shoot my shot.
I ain't no neighbor. I don't even see you over there. I'm just.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Let's transition. Let's go to the next topic. Sounds like y'all men ain't got no self-control. We got self-control. we ain't. You muted, T.
We're alpha beta. We have self-control.
I'm on my best behavior, man.
Yeah, we are alpha beta. We don't look. We don't cheat. Hold on. Who said something about OnlyFans members?
You are allowed to look. Hey, but you notice that we are focused because what you have Jay Ward that's married. You got T who telling you, you know what I'm saying? He held down. Corey just got married. So you see, we are focused young men now. Don't get it wrong.
Absolutely. Okay, let's go to the last topic. Hold on. Say what now? Lord have mercy. Y'all in the church looking at. Let me go to the post. I want to make sure I get this right. Swift, what church you go to? I'm coming. Let's go to this post.
Trying to see Grandma Swift and Mama. Don't take me out, Swift.
I'm not. Okay. Actually, we've been debating going back and forth if we're going to touch on this topic tonight. I don't even know. Let's get it. I'm going to read the post.
Let me hit my whiskey.
I'm going to read the post. By Hoochie God, her name is Benjamin's with a V. Jay Ward posted this, so I'm going to read it out. Trey Songz' entire is on the internet, and despite all the creepy, weird allegations against him, he's being praised. Chloe Bailey ain't did nothing to nobody, so I'm gonna need y'all to explain. Because Chloe Bailey did get a lot of backlash from the post that she made on Instagram. But I don't think she got too much backlash from men. I think it mostly came from women. So guys, I'm gonna ask y'all this. Did y'all see anything wrong with what Chloe Bailey did? That's number one. And number two, why is it that men or certain men in certain areas can get away with doing certain things if they are perceived a certain way by the community? I think y'all get where I'm going with that, right? For example, like with Trey Songz, he had these allegations against him, but it kind of got swept under the rug because I guess he's attractive or whatever video was posted on social media. All that just got thrown away. That's number one. Number two, Chloe got a lot of backlash. And I think, what's her name? The other artist that showed up to the basketball game with a shirt cut out?
Lizzo.
Huh?
Lizzo,
yeah. Lizzo get a lot of backlash too, but she kind of did the same thing that Chloe is, the same right thought process, right? Why is it that Chloe got so much backlash, and why is it that Trey Songz really didn't get any backlash? None at all. And T, I know you've been waiting on this.
No, I haven't, bro. I'm scared to even touch this topic, bro.
Well, we ain't gotta touch it because I love what Chloe did. Like, I have no issues with it whatsoever. Let me start there. I saw no issues.
I don't even know these motherfuckers. I don't even know what's going on.
I don't. Man. I know that. I got it, bro. Fuck that. I got it.
Let me post it because I think the video went.
I got it. I'ma post it. I got it. All right, man. This is what it is, Jay Ward. I know you ready to cape and savor. This is what it is.
Let me sit back and sip.
Yeah, okay.
But should I post it for T though?
I'm gonna post it.
Go ahead on post it. Post it.
I'm gonna post it when I get to it. Okay, this is what this is. Chloe is not a victim. Just because y'all like what you see, and you know she's Beyonce's little sister, and y'all like her, y'all want to cap for her. Okay, that's number one. Wasn't nobody mad about Chloe when she did the Busted Challenge? She looked great. Everything was wonderful and beautiful.
Hold on, T. Quinn, we are not posting any videos of Trey Songz. Okay, keep going.
We definitely not. Okay, so then she posted the little silhouette challenge. Didn't nobody say nothing. It was nice. It was beautiful. Everybody was doing it on social media. Why would you be mad about that? But then she goes and posts a video in her drawers, just around the house. You know what I'm saying? And then you get mad when you get the backlash. So if you're going to act like a thought, you are going to get.
Don't say that. Don't say
Hold
that.
on, no, I'm gonna be all the way funky. You are going to get the thought comments from the men and the women on the internet. If that's the lane you want to go into and swim into, that's what you're gonna get. But everybody try to come to her defense, like, oh, everybody did the busted challenge, blah, blah, blah. But they did not see the video of her seeking attention and being a thought. But that's okay, because I'm gonna play it for you.
I don't know if we can call that being
okay.
Play the video.
Never will stop. Close to you. That could cut through. Do you miss me too? Wish you were in my room. And then you make me. I just can't escape.
Anyway, y'all get the picture. So again, didn't nobody say nothing didn't nobody say nothing about her when she did the challenges and all that stuff. But if you're prancing around with y'all trying to seek attention, people are going to say, hey baby, what are you doing? You don't have to do that. You are talented. You are a producer, you sing great, you Beyonce little sister, your life is there. Why do you feel like you need this like that? But hey, it is what it is. Nobody saw that video and they thought we were just saying something about her because of the busted challenge and the silhouette challenge. No, it wasn't none of those videos. It was that video where she was seeking attention. Y'all take it how y'all want.
So I'm not gonna say. You know what?
You act like a thought. You gonna get the thought coming.
I don't know. Walk around your drawers ain't being a thought. Go ahead, Jay Ward.
T, let me ask you a question.
No.
T, let me ask you a question. When you were 22, I think she's 22. Is that right?
24, 22, 24.
24, 22, 23, 24. T, when you were that age, you were pretty slim and had a six-pack, right?
I was.
Did you ever have your shirt off?
Yeah, I did.
Same thing. When you were young.
Shut up, boy.
Hey, when you are young, she's young. I mean, she was not nude. She's young. She should be able to.
Bro. She come on, man.
We can't be in T. We can't be the people. T.
That's not
we
a
cannot
challenge.
be these people. We cannot be these people. And it goes back to a comment that I heard during the church thing. We can't be those people that say she got raped. What she have on? We can't be those people because
I'm not one of those people. I'm not one of those people.
Okay, great. I'm glad. I'm just making sure that we say that. Like, you know, we can't be those people. Like, what she have on? She should be treated like a whore because she was just like a whore. We can't be those people. You know, just because a person decides to, you know, wear whatever. And usually the people that really hates on people who wear less clothes and things like that are people who can't do it. And that's from men and women.
That's true.
It's just like I didn't care about Trey Songz showing his video leaking of him getting his thing. So I don't care about that because I mean, you know, it ain't got nothing to do with me. I mean, I'm not intimidated, I'm not jealous or whatever, because I mean, you know, hey, you know, it's all good. Do your thing, Chief. But I do find it weird that not men, but a lot of women have excused Trey Songz from his shady past. I'm not saying he should be counseled because you know nothing has been really proven.
I'm not a Trey Songz fan
like
either.
That. But I mean, you know, he does have some questionable allegations against him.
Right.
And once that plays out, I think, you know, it should be addressed. But until it's played out, you know, I won't pass judgment because it's not for me to do. But it's like when women are like, oh, he holds women hostage, but his meat big, so it's okay. So it's like, you know, never mind. So it's like, I think that, you know, there is a double standard for that, but that's just how the world works. Usually people who are really talented or people who are really attractive really get a lot of second and third and fourth and fifth chances when it comes to sports and when it comes to entertainment. Like if you look at Robert Downey Jr., like, bro, dude was doing a lot of stuff, but he's super talented. So he deserved every chance that he got. I just wish that other people who aren't as talented aren't as attractive are allowed those second and third and fourth chances as well. So I really, I just hate that people who aren't at the top of the popularity totem pole or the top of the money or talent totem pole. I wish they would be afforded certain chances to mess up and redeem themselves as well, like the people at the top. And as far as Chloe, I have no problem with anything that she did. Anybody that they brought that girl to tears, and it's just she living her life. She's feeling herself. She's confident.
Please, boy.
She's confident. She's
Boy,
feeling
please,
herself.
boy.
I think she should definitely be allowed to do. She was saging her room in her underwear. Like, why would you be fully?
Bruh,
like, why would you have on a three-piece suit?
If you cry, if you go down that lane, bro, you get what come with it. That's like if I'm in the streets, I get what come with it being in the streets, bro. If I go to jail, I go to jail.
So let's talk about it real quick.
Let me ask this question real fast.
Go ahead.
So, let me ask this question real fast. TJ Ward, since you all both kind of talked about this. Now, would you be mad if there was your wife or your spouse who posted a video walking around like that? Because if that's not, somebody that you got love for or care for, why just be all up in the roar about it?
And I feel you on that, but my thing is you can't really compare that because she's 22, young and single. She, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right. So that's the thing about it.
Right.
She allowed to do that. She's single.
Exactly.
I answer Crow. If that was my old lady doing that, I'd be like, yeah, because I'm holding the camera. Because I'm hyping you up.
What, because after we turn, man, y'all boys so cap, man. Y'all boy cap, man.
That's what I'm saying. Hold on, wait. That's what I'm saying. Hey, I'm about to say the same thing for the.
Let's stop.
And
I'm holding the camera.
Stop.
She was air. Hold on. Swift.
And bikinis
hold on.
Let me say this, bro.
Go ahead.
Let
J-Ward finish. Let J-Ward.
Okay, go ahead, man.
Okay. So I'm an actor. Okay. As an actor, a part of the business is you have to show certain parts of yourself if that's what the scene requires. So don't come at me like, oh, you can't do this type of scene because you with me. Like, no,
that ain't no work scene, homie. I'm saying
a part of her job is maintaining social media and getting social media followers. That is another source of income. If that was my old lady, I would be like, all right, babe, I see you, because let people look. I don't care about people looking because you with me. I'm not insecure. You coming home with me, so I don't care about people looking because you're coming home with me. As a matter of fact, I'm going to match your attractiveness with my own attractiveness. There's a guy I follow on, I follow him. He's a workout guy. And he's six packed up and all that type of stuff. Him and his wife both have like large social media presence. And I'm just like, they both hype each other up, and they both, like, I'm gonna post videos of you without clothes on, you post videos of me, because that's how they make a living. And you have to be secure in who you are. I'm secure in who I am as a man, and I don't care about you showing your, like, wear a tight dress. I don't care. Okay, I want everybody in the restaurant looking at you, because hopefully the rest of the women in the restaurant looking at me, and then we're going to go home with each other. Like, that's just how I feel.
Let me clarify. Hold on, T. So if I understand you correctly, you're saying if your wife or your girl is a large entertainer, or part of her job is to be seen by people, you have no issue with her in that type of scene, basically, in saging her room in her drawers. That's what you're saying.
So, Swift, this is why I say yes. If you're Dwayne Wade, your wife, Gabrielle Union, makes a living off acting, and a part of her brand is to be sexy. So if he was in her ear while she was doing Being Mary Jane, and some of the scenes in Being Mary Jane,
right? Thank you, T. Thank you.
Anyway,
do you realize that the social media women get paid for posts?
Nope, nigga. I let you go 5 minutes, nigga. Nope, not gonna roll. Not go roll, nigga. Listen,
I see what J Ward is saying.
No, J Ward full of cap, bro. This is what I want J Ward to do. I want you to go to the dictionary and look up cuckold. That's what you go do. Look up cuckold in the dictionary, because that's what you sound like, boy. You really sound like a cuckold right now. I want you to go to the dictionary and look that up. But again, I don't condone Trey Songz either. That nigga a lame. You know what I'm saying? He leaked the video himself, so he a lame. the minute video that I done did or whatever, they ain't seen the light of day, and they will never see the light of day. That's some lame shit. So Trey Songz don't get no pass from me, and everything that they say he did. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he did those things or whatever. So I would not say that he did them or did not. But if he did, I can't condone that. I don't stand behind that. I never stand behind that.
Right.
And again, I'm not coming down on Chloe because I really like I listen to her music. Me and my old lady listen to their music, bro. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell my niggas in the trap. But like for real though, like, but she don't have to do that. And we gotta quit making that shit normalized. Like, okay, cool. Did the busted challenge. It's cool. Ain't nobody got a problem with that. Ain't nobody got a problem with her silhouette challenge. But when you out here trying to just jump and get some attention, like, come on, man. Y'all talking about, oh, she was just saging her room. Why she couldn't sage her room in some cheerleader shorts? Or why she couldn't sage her room in whatever? You know what I'm saying? She did that on purpose. And then she want to cry on the internet when people come at her a certain type of way. Y'all crazy, man. No, let me unmute Jay Ward, man. Cause you look, did you look it up? Did you look up cuckold?
I know what a cuckold is. That's not the same thing. T, let me ask you this question, like T. Let me ask you this question. T. If you modeling your brand, the Hustle Hard campaign, if you modeling your campaign with no shirt on, and it's going to benefit you financially, you're against that, right? With no shirt on. So if you could grow your brand tremendously by just wearing your clothing line with just underwear on, you're against that, right?
Right.
So you would not do that to grow your brand.
No. I am for that. But I am for that. But you asked me a question. Let me ask you a question. What was she selling?
Herself. She's bringing attention to herself. She's gaining followers because once you get a certain amount of followers, anytime you post, you get paid to post. And you know that. Kylie Jenner gets paid every time that she posts something on social media.
Jay Ward, I think then a couple of episodes back, you say we shouldn't place value on a woman's body.
Okay, so let's wrap this. We'll be going all night. Let's wrap this up.
Hey man, look, I just want the best.
We may have to get this out another time.
I'm not misogynistic. I tell my niece the same thing. I tell my niece the same thing, bro. And you can ask me. You know what I'm saying? I talk to my niece. I talk to all the younger women that ask me for advice and all that stuff, bro. And I give it to them straight. And all I'm saying is the girl is too talented to be going down that lane. You know what I'm saying? And she's grown. And if she chooses to do that, then she needs to be aware and take what comes with it.
Okay, so let's do final comments. But I think the overall message is we have no issues with women celebrating their body, celebrating their sexuality, being free, and all that. But just be aware that there are some people that may say certain things because they see it a certain way. I think that's what T's saying. So if you're going to portray that, you need to be ready for everything that comes with it. I think that's all. Is that right, T?
No, I'm laughing at Gabriel. So how many videos I did?
That's what I'm wondering. What the videos? See, leak the videos. See,
I
don't turn the camera, nigga.
I got the light system, nigga. Already. I got the light. I'm done, man. I'm done.
Let me go to the comments. I saw some of the comments.
Hey, we're gonna be looking for that picture in the background on these XX videos.
Right.
Where Rob at for this topic? Queen said Dwayne Wade is the woman in that relationship. A lot of emojis. Swift, you gonna hold the camera while out?
Oh.
Okay.
All righty.
Fifi busted challenge. Rob wasn't complaining. Be more like Rob Wall. Zay said real niggas don't leak news. True. Ms. Martin said, how many videos you did, T? And Kim said, T, you are aware these videos are recorded, right? What video? Oh, yeah, we good.
I don't give a damn. My old lady upstairs, bro. You know what I'm saying? She real comfortable.
Watching it right now.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gotta impress nobody. I already got mine, so it is what it is, honestly. And that's really how I feel about it, dog. Like shit.
Nikki Zoe, be comfortable enough to stand in what you do. And that's pretty much it. If you are walking around your room in your drawers. If you get backlash, shit, post another video like fuck. I'm sorry, Mom.
Exactly.
I didn't mean to.
Exactly.
But post
Own
another
your stuff.
video in your
Yeah,
drawers.
own it.
I did this because I wanted to, and I don't live my life how I want to. And what y'all think or what y'all say has absolutely nothing to do with me.
That's why I say she's single. She can do whatever she
Do
chooses
whatever
to.
she wants to.
You know what I'm saying? Now she got a dude or a spouse or whatever, whoever she chooses to consult with.
Mhm.
Hey, run it past them if need be. Do you?
Because people sit the sex all day every day. You see these women and working out at the gym. They ain't really working out and posting pictures working out. They posting for another reason. But go ahead, Jay.
So if I did see that somebody, spoke on Zendaya and a lot of these kids that we saw growing up as kid stars and now they're adult stars, and it's like, we have to be able to accept that they are growing up. And I remember that was one of the things with Miley Cyrus. It's like, she's an adult now. I think that's another thing too. A lot of child stars try to separate themselves from being a kid actor to being an adult actor, or a kid performer to an adult performer. So they do different things, and we have to just understand that that's the nature of the business. We have to do different things to, like Daniel Radcliffe, who played Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm.
Every role that he took after Harry Potter was to prove that I'm an adult and I'm not a kid. I'm not Harry Potter. Anne Hathaway did the same thing. She said, I don't want to play any more princess characters, any more, queens or anything like that, because I want to show that I have range as an actor. So a lot of times they are trying to transition to that next phase, and y'all can say what you want, but Chloe and Halle, or Haley, I don't know how you pronounce it. They have not been as successful as like a Meg or City Girls or Cardi B or whatever. So it's like, if I can tastefully gain a larger audience, then I'm going to do what I have to do to gain that audience. And I understand as an artist myself that sometimes you have to do what you got to do. And she wasn't naked. She was in her underwear, but she was not naked. So,
Well, I ain't got no issues either way, but
yeah.
Overall, like I said, if that's what you're gonna choose to do, then choose to do it and stand in it and be strong. If you hear something that goes against what you did, okay, so and move on with life.
Damn, she gonna have that OnlyFans next.
How much?
Swift. You got Swift. I think it's a comment on there.
Yeah.
So
it's just that comment.
So we're gonna go to the final comments for this night. We are wrapping up. Final comments. T, what you got?
I just think we gotta do better as a people. Like I said in the first topic, we gotta do better as a people. That means holding people in our community accountable. That means holding our young, impressionable women accountable. You know what I'm saying? I stand on it. Everything I say, I stand on. I've been saying this the whole time. I'm all about the improvement of our people. So again, I don't care if you are a woman, if you a man, if you whatever. I'm gonna hold you to a standard because I hold myself to a standard. So again, y'all can take it how y'all want to and play the victim, but this is what happens when we let shit slide, and the next time it be bigger, and then the next time it be bigger, and the next time it be a snowball. I mean, a fucking boulder. So I just hope that y'all keep letting this stuff, like y'all keep clap it up, bitch. Goddamn, hey, babe, all that shit, do all that, whatever. Y'all keep doing that shit. And next thing you know, when it end up how it end up, don't come back and say T said that shit in 2021.
Pro.
When it comes to me, desegregation, leadership, find a leader within yourself. Be able to communicate, accountability for self, accountability for us as a people you have around you. When it comes to the church, honestly, I think we kind of, in a way, govern our own selves when it comes to our religion now, versus letting the church govern us. And then when it comes to the hold up, say what? Hey, she's single. And I know I said single, but she's single. You know what I'm saying? She can do what she please. She ain't got nobody to answer to. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, there you go.
That's true. I agree.
Jay Ward.
Even if she wasn't single, she can do whatever she wants. Anyway, She's a woman. She's a grown woman.
That's true.
That's true too.
That's
True too.
I think that, you know, as far as the desegregation, we have to attack it where we are now as 2021. And the crazy thing is, it's like, you know, the weird thing is, it's people that were born in like 96 who are raising teenagers. And I know that sounds weird to think about it, but that's where we are. Because I look at, you know, some of the kids that I teach and things like that, like some of their parents were born in the 90s and they're in middle school or high school even. And so it's a lot of pride and stuff that they missed out on. So we just have to, it's a tough responsibility to bear, but, you know, it is up to us to be able to teach them and, you know, let them accept what we have to offer. And if they don't, move on. But, you know, let's at least try to put the information out there. As far as the whole church thing that we talked about, the Bible has been translated so many times that it's hard to accept the authenticity of it, because it has been translated so many times. And I'm just not okay with the persecution of homosexual people in the church. And I didn't even really get on that, but that's not okay to me. And it's just like, God is, if Jesus is love and he said, love everybody, love thy neighbor as thyself. He said what he said. So it's like, don't make it anything different. He said what he said. Love everybody, your neighbor as thyself. So stop trying to be super religious and change his wording. And I know that, you know, when my mom passed, maybe about a month later, I felt the spirit fall on me, the spirit of comfort. And it was just like something that I couldn't explain. And that right there in itself was something that I just needed. And, you know, it was a life-changing experience. I'm just like, somebody has been praying for me to get through this, and not even myself. And once I felt it, it was something that I couldn't explain. And I know that it was something divine. Other than that, that's pretty much it. I just think that I just want to know, T, when are you going to drop the tapes? And going back to the church thing, last thing, a person doesn't have to be a perfect person to deliver a message that you need. I remember getting a message from a person in a nursing home, an older woman. She was like, "You're doing such a great job with these kids," and I was like, "Thank you," you know. And she was like, "Well, whatever you're doing, keep on doing it." And it was like confirmation for me, because I was about to stop teaching like that same year. And she was just like, "Whatever you're doing with these kids, keep on doing it." And I'm just like, man, like, wasn't a preacher, never saw the lady again. It was a lady in a nursing home. So, you know, just be in tune with that spiritual side and just pay attention to that. And that's it. Other than that, Alcorn, you whack for opting out of the spring season because you're scared of Jackson State.
I'm not excited about spring season myself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Y'all are killing me in these comments. I'm just gonna say whatever y'all do, send me the video so I can. Yeah.
Back in my days, you know, I used to direct and produce and all that. So if y'all
And I used to
wait a minute. Now I used to produce.
I used to edit too, so I can edit videos. So if
well,
y'all
on some real, you know, I used to have some ladies back in the day. So you know.
But my final comments, I do think that we are going to do a clubhouse room on this next week to expound on these topics. If you are interested in being a part of the conversation, please send me a message. I don't know what day we'll do, probably Wednesday or Thursday of next week. But if you are interested, so y'all got videos. But if you're interested, let me know, and we will either send you the invite or send you the link to the room. As far as the conversations for today, I think they talked about last week about how social media has an impact on what's going on today. We really got to take the focus away from social media and start really getting back to family, school, and church, and allowing these areas to raise our kids and being more involved in the children's lives. That way they don't grow up listening to NBA Youngboy and shooting up houses and schools and doing drive-bys and everything else. Miss Martin says she can drive to Jackson Crow.
The Crow, like
It's a short drive. It's a short drive. It's not far.
So if you are, I don't even know. Like, I just finished up with school. I ain't dated in a while. How do you even find a wife? Like, what?
The internet. It's simple.
I guess so, huh? But anyway, That's
Or church. Go to church.
I ain't going to church. I'm not
Go-
going to church for a wife. I'm going. Never mind.
Go to church,
Anyway.
bro.
But no, seriously, if y'all interested in being in the clubhouse room next week, please let me know. We may continue the church topic and another topic if you're interested in putting something else. Tinder.
Hey, for real. Hey, follow us on Instagram, Brother Vent 2. Be looking out for the clubhouse room so we can get some women to give their accounts of this stuff so it won't sound so bad. You know what I'm saying? When I be talking my shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, please join the clubhouse. You know what I'm saying? And if you have any topics, send them to the DM on Facebook or Instagram.
And I was just about to say that if you have a topic, I think we're gonna do a guest next week because that's the Friday before Valentine's Day. I think that's the perfect time to have a guest on. So if you are interested in being a guest next week, please DM the page with the topic that you would like to discuss. Now, I don't tell them the topic in advance, so it can be fresh, it can be new, it can be off the top, like authentic. So once again, if you are interested in being on the show next week, DM us a topic and let us know. And we're gonna get Crow by the fireplace to with the
it is Valentine's Day, so definitely make sure I have.
Look at him in the sweat hotel.
Right. All right. With that being said, I'm not gonna forget, Jay. I know your birthday 2/15. With that being said, y'all have a great evening, and we will see y'all next week, and hopefully we'll see y'all in the clubhouse.
Already. Peace out.